Welcome everyone back to another virtual episode of the Weekly Source. Special guest today, Chris Krusiewicz, Vice President of Burnham Benefits, joining us all the way out from California. Chris, welcome to the show.
Good to be here, man. Thank you.
Yeah. It's a long time coming. You've spoken at 2 eclipses, but hey, for the folks who haven't seen you speak at Eclipse, seen some of the videos go around, give us a quick intro about yourself, and then I'm always curious how folks got into the industry. So how you came about it.
Yeah, for sure. So, I've been in the benefit space for coming up on 12 years here. And, I started in the payroll space, the human capital management space, actually. So I came out of college selling payroll for ADP, and then got exposed to benefits through selling PEO, actually. And then I'm now at Burnham Benefits, which has just been an incredibly refreshing, amazing place to be. I've been there for 3.5 years, and just couldn't be more fired up about the leadership there and the team there. And so, yeah, it's good.
Well, that's awesome, man. And I think there's a couple ways we could have taken this, and from the way, you've spoken at Eclipse in the past, I think you do a good job of meshing, hey, there's industry trends, where technology is going. But again, the most important part of it is people's willingness to adapt, and it all comes back down to mindset. And, before we started recording, you and I were kind of going into mindset during a crisis right now. You're talking about, business is still good, and you attribute some of that to mindset. So kind of give you the floor to talk about the importance of resiliency and having a good mindset during a time like today.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I continue to believe more and more and more every day, in the unbelievable power of just making a decision to engineer the outcome that you want. And I remember, so I have a very important personal goal that I'm chasing right now. And, I remember as soon as this thing started to unravel with COVID, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be harder now. And, I remember the moment I was like, no, I'm still going to do it. And not only am I still going to do it, I'm going to blow past it because I will not let this moment define my life, my business, my family. But because of the significance of that goal for me and the significance of this moment, I think for everybody, it stood out to me as a singular moment. And I'll tell you what, in the last 7 weeks, however long it's been now, honestly, I don't know. It feels like I'm in the twilight zone, but I'm just grateful to have had a lot of success creating new opportunity because I've just decided to. I mean, it's as simple as that. People are like, hey, should we be calling people? Should we be working on, getting new business? Is it tone deaf? No, it's not tone deaf. Now it could be, you could do it. You could be tone deaf in it, but the notion of deciding to pursue your goals in a crisis moment is not on its own.
Yeah, I think a lot of that goes to do with the messaging, right? Like if you're already going into it saying this might be tone deaf, then your delivery is going to be pretty unauthentic. I think being true to yourself and true to your nature, and it could be even refreshing if somebody's not even ready to buy or looking into whatever you're offering, to just get on the phone with you and you're eager to talk about benefits, the benefits plan or technology or whatever it is in a time of crisis. It might just be breaking down a couple barriers for a potential buyer.
Well, I actually think that question, is it tone deaf or should I be doing that? It presumes that what they are bringing to the marketplace is not valuable, meaning is not it presumes that the thing that they're doing in the marketplace every day is for them, not the other person. One of the best things it was a sales coach that said this to me, and it was like a transformational shift in my thinking. I was very early in my career, and he goes, Chris, sales is not something you do to people. It is something you do for people. And and I heard it and I liked it, but it took me a long time to believe it, right? Because we don't always believe the things that we know, right? It takes some time to get to that point. And the reason I feel very comfortable connecting with new people in a way that could result in a sale is because I'm actually doing it for them. Now, it's not altruism. I mean, I'm not doing it for free, but I don't believe that I'm getting them to be doing something that they don't want to be doing anyway. And it's funny, this notion of well, should I be doing this? Well, that's interesting. That presumes that you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for yourself anyway. And so I think even that in itself is an important mindset shift. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally does. That's a cool way to think about it. Again, if you don't see the value, or how you're helping them, and you're already going into it thinking about yourself, and this is awkward for myself. Well, that's a backwards way to be thinking, right?
Yeah, I'm calling to just close a sale. Well, okay, that's not the right way to approach the marketplace.
Yeah, exactly. You post content around benefits tech, but it was a video of you running in the morning talking about mindset, that you were like, this is what takes off. So I think it's an important message now, for folks to say, hey, there's two ways you can take this thing. But want to, relay it back to, both of our audience as brokers and HR professionals. One of the comments you made before was, how as a broker, you or your book is a reflection of you, or an HR professional, your staff is a reflection of you. I mean, talk a bit more about that, how it relates to your book of business, and the mindset that you're talking about now, how you're bringing it into the day-to-day.
Well, I think we attract what we put out there, right? That's not a really a novel idea, but again, it's like people don't always believe what they know. So we will, like, my clients tend to be more optimistic people because I'm an optimistic person. The value alignment you can achieve by just putting it out there and living with a sense of authenticity about who you are in the world and in the marketplace, that just tends to attract a certain kind of person. And I think that's true in any category. So like, for obviously our clients are HR people, right? And so one of the things we talk a lot about is talent management. You as an HR leader can do the same thing. Like, your employees will be a reflection of what you put out there, just in the same way that the company is a reflection of what the CEO puts out there, right? And I think that's an easy thing for people to forget. They feel like they're like that they're just kind of like transacting rather than engineering the ethos and the culture and the feel and the heart of the organization by just being that sort of person themselves.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you think, especially during a time of crisis, right? Like we shouldn't just be hearing from leadership in a very structured cadence because we feel like they should be talking, right? Like, it should be authentic. If you are outspoken, stick to, that process. If you aren't, but your team needs it, identifying somebody internally that can help you out there. I mean, those are all pretty big points, especially today's day and age. But hey, when things get back to normal, we shouldn't give up on being overly communicative and being authentic.
Yeah, 100%.
And hey, so as we wrap up here, and you've got an audience of HR professionals, brokers listening in, and you and I have been on the same page, not reaffirming doubt, right? With that being said, what's your message in your closing, either from you yourself or things going on at Burnham that you want the audience to know about? Well,
stuff at Burnham is just so, I'm just so proud of the organization that I'm a part of. It's a really special place. But I think, we as humans have the tendency to believe, whether good or bad, that things will always be the way that they are, right? That's why people make stupid financial decisions when things are going well. It will always be this way. Well, that's not true.
Sure.
But we also struggle with this idea that, like, it's going badly and it's always going to be this way. That's not true either. And I think what I would say is, like, I don't know, just the way that I want to show up in the world is just helping. I want to help other people. One of the ways I want to help other people demand more of themselves, right? Demand more of who they can be in this world. We leave so much on the table. My run this morning was a great example of that. I was burnt at mile 5 and I had to push beyond that. And I got to that moment of pain and realized, like, oh my gosh, I don't feel good. I want to stop right now. This kind of sucks, And I could have left many more miles on the table. And that's true in life too. If we can just push through the harder moments, right? To go harder when it's harder. I just think there's so much more, like, amazing things that we can do in our life. In your marriage, when it's harder, go harder. In your career, in your friendships, in your physical life, in your life with your kids. Like, I think that's one of the ways that I want to show up in the world and in this moment of our life and business, that, like, man, this is hard. This kind of sucks, but, like, let's go harder when it's harder.
I love it. Yeah, that's a great message. I think it'll resonate with a lot who, getting up and trying to put your game face on. It's not something that just happens because, hey, it's time to be better. It takes practice. It takes time, to your point.
I'm a work in progress. So whatever I, whatever I have to, offer or bring, hopefully that's helpful for somebody else, but I'm certainly not speaking from a position of mastery either. So, that's important. So.
Well, hey, appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah. Good to see you, Neil. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.